Thank you for viewing this innovation blog brought to you by Prosecutors Center for Excellence. My name is Sophia Roach, and I'm joined today by Victor Barr, the Division Chief of the Economic Crimes Unit of the San Diego County District Attorney's Office. And he's here to tell us about their innovative collaboration with a nonprofit that provides services to identity theft victims. And just to start us off, can you tell us a little bit about San Diego County's population and the environment of the county?
Sure. It's actually a very diverse population. Looking at the data, it's about 3.2 million people in the county. The city itself is 1.8 million, which makes it, I think, the 8th largest city in the United States. But we border Mexico, of course, and we have a very culturally diverse population and a very large military presence. We have several military bases in the region. And we have all socioeconomic levels. And I looked it up yesterday. The median income, believe it or not, is $82,000. But trust me, it represents all socioeconomic areas.
And tell us a little bit about the prosecutor's office. How many prosecutors are employed in San Diego, specifically within the district attorney's office?
Sure. The San Diego District Attorney's Office is actually the second largest in California. We have total combined employees, including staff and everything, about 1,000. But prosecutors, specifically deputy DAs, we have about 300. And we have a main office and a couple branches and several specialized units.
Okay. And I would imagine, given its geographic size, that you may have some of the same difficulties that we see in a lot of jurisdictions around the country with identity theft, or should I say all jurisdictions throughout the country. Tell us a little bit about how that impacts San Diego cases.
Well, identity theft in particular, Sophia, is rampant, unfortunately, and it continues to grow. Looking at the statistics out there by the Federal Trade Commission, it continues to grow year after year. It does impact San Diego. It impacts the state of California, and in fact, the whole United States. You want me to go into like the issues with it and why it's probably so prevalent?
Yeah, I am interested in what some of the difficulties are with these cases and what kinds of alternative solutions you sometimes have to come up with when maybe there's no case to prosecute.
Okay. That's a compound question. I'm going to object, but I'm going to answer it. The issues out there, I mean, I was thinking about it yesterday. I see three main ones. The first one is the fact that the internet exists and it provides a certain anonymity for the bad actors. A lot of the activity is done online. So finding them, identifying them is very difficult and very time intensive. And in many cases, they can't be identified because they have VPNs or they employ voice over IPs, things like that. So that's tough. The old days, they had to dumpster dive to get the information. They don't have to do that anymore. Second thing is, again, the internet. We have, as a population, stored so much of our personal identifying information online in databases, whether it be Target, your credit card company, whether it's your doctor's office, and they're all subject to attack by hackers and things. And they're able to steal thousands of profiles at one time, which now has created a supermarket, if you will, on the dark web. A fraudster now can just go on the dark web and for pennies on the dollar buy full profiles without exposing himself to law enforcement or anything else. Unlike the old days when they would have to steal your mail or go through the dumpsters, they were more likely to be caught by law enforcement. And then the use of the masks since COVID. I mean, even not online, but if a fraudster goes into a particular place to use the PII, personal identifying information, now with a mask, it's hard to identify them on video, so that complicates it. And then lastly, many of your actors are in foreign jurisdictions, whether it be other states, and we're finding more and more in other countries, which we can't even get to. So it's very frustrating for us as prosecutors. It's frustrating for law enforcement, but we're trying to look for ways to help victims or potential victims not become a subject of an identity theft crime, and more importantly, how to recover if it happens.
So
that dovetails into the second part of your, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, please.
So it dovetails in the second part of your question. What have we done to try and help our citizens here in San Diego. And we've done a couple different things. We do outreach in the community where we send out our speakers to talk to people, to educate them on particular dangers, and then give them tips on how they might minimize those risks out there. But, you know, none of us can be completely protected. It's a matter of mitigating the risk. In addition, the office, we have created a website. Basically, you navigate our public-facing website of the San Diego County DA's office, and there's a section that says helping victims. And if you scroll down, there are various different categories, different crimes. One of them is identity theft. And under that category, we took the time to basically define what identity theft is. We tell victims where you should go to make a report. We provide links to the different credit bureaus to help victims go ahead and freeze their credit. And then we also provide certain limited information on who to contact in the event of an attack, whether it be a particular governmental agency, such as the DMV or the Social Security Administration or the IRS, and then also what to do like with the various banks and lending institutions. But again, we also have links on there to other resources. One of those is the one we're here talking about primarily, is the Identity Theft Resource Center. And it's a link, we have a link there to get to them, but we went one step further recently. And actually, I gotta have to give credit to the Identity Theft Resource Center. We've been partnering with them with cases for a long time now, and they came to us and said, hey, how about if we embed a live chat on your public-facing website so that your potential victims can reach us right away? And we thought that was a great idea because after all, if you think about it, the cases we can prosecute for identity theft represent a very minuscule number compared to the amount of victims that are out there. And in the past, what we've done is if we have a case, we've prosecuted it, and we get to the end or even in the middle where the victim needs help recovering, we would refer them to the Identity Theft Resource Center for the services they provide. And I'm speaking to prosecutors, you all know how it goes. I mean, our focus is investigation, prosecution, and we have some limited resources for our victims, but there's a lot of complexities in trying to recover from an identity theft attack. You know, which agencies to talk to, what language to use, what forms. This Identity Theft Resource Center is geared directly toward that. And if I can, it sounds like I'm making a plug for them, but I'll tell you what it is, because I think you all should know, because I think we can help our victims more with information. So the Identity Theft Resource Center is a nonprofit organization. It's funded by the Department of Justice, and I think it's called the Office of Victims of Crime specifically. So it's funded through the government, and its mission is to help prevent identity theft, and in addition, help victims recover from the impact. So what we decided, and this is working out pretty well so far, it's a pilot project, it's been going for a few months, but we embedded, and it's been displayed for you there, an actual link in our public-facing website where they can have a live chat with an Identity Theft Resource Center person. We put on the website that it is not the DA's office, but we were able to work this out, and the services, if you don't mind, I'll go through the services they provide. Is that okay?
Yes, if you could.
They have two different main missions, so to speak, the prevention aspect. So with this live chat, believe it or not, if a person has been contacted through an email or through telephone or anything, and they're concerned maybe this is not legitimate, they can actually, the potential victim can reach out to the Identity Theft Resource Center and consult with their highly trained and experienced personnel. And they actually can tell many of the victims or potential victims, this is a phishing attack, don't do it. Where they cannot figure out whether or not it's legitimate or not right away, they can educate the potential victim specifically how to look at the email to look for the warning signs, and then how to contact the potential sender of the email separately. So you don't respond to the email because
Right.
probably a bad actor. They tell them who to contact and how to verify, therefore hopefully preventing a loss. We all know in economic crimes, we can prosecute a criminal, but actually getting the money back for the victim is even more difficult. So if we can stop it before it even happens, that's the best. So
Well, and it's also
separately,
kind of a safe place for folks to go, especially I think sometimes in some of our older communities, people are resistant to reach out or seem like they don't, aren't comfortable with technology or some type of communication. And I think this is a great neutral party where people can go get answers, and it's a source they can trust.
absolutely, and they're not being judged. I mean,
Right.
a lot of the elders are scared to call their kids, or not scared, but I should say embarrassed.
Right.
This is a neutral source. They don't judge. They give you good information. So they help prevent, but on the other side, they do the recovery services, which I think is super important for our potential victims out there. Specifically, they not only tell you what to do, they tell you where to go, who to talk to, what forms to use. They have templates that they give to victims to send to the various credit bureaus, to the banks, to the DMV. They tell the victims what specific forms to fill out, for example, the IRS and other government agencies.
Mm-hmm.
And they also give the victim the language to use when reporting to these agencies and institutions to enable the victim to have a successful interaction. Because sometimes the victim just calls and says a few things and they don't get the response they want because they're not using the right language. And the Identity Theft Resource Center can help with all that, and has the patience and the time and energy to be able to walk the victim through the process. And these are people that we could never prosecute a case for.
So what has the community response been? How have people been receptive to this? Has it been successful in terms of, helping people navigate the system?
I think in general, I mean, the response we get is from the victims that we have worked with and prosecuted and referred them to the Identity Theft Resource Center, and has been extremely positive. The live chat is a pilot project, so we're still waiting to get more information on how this specifically is helping, but I know and can tell you from experience that our victims have been very satisfied with their interaction with the Identity Theft Resource Center. And we look forward to a long relationship with them. And actually, they've now partnered with a couple other agencies across the United States where they're doing the same thing. And so I think it's a very positive thing for our community.
Well, and that's the wonderful thing about this innovation. It's shareable. It's something that other prosecutors' offices can clearly use because this ITRC has a national presence and Department of Justice funding. So I really want to thank you for sharing this innovation with us. And thank you to our viewers. If you would like to share an innovation, please contact PCE directly. I've got a email address for you. That's contact PCE at pceinc.org. Thank you so much.
Can I throw one more thing in there, Sophia?
Oh, absolutely.
If anybody out there wants to contact the Identity Theft Resource Center and see what kind of resources they provide and whether you can partner with them, just Google Identity Theft Resource Center, or their website, or the link is ITRC at, all one word, idtheftcenter.org. So good luck and thanks for all your work out there, everyone.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Take care.